And we are on the air. Hello, Fansuro and Disney here, and alongside Ashley, we're going to be talking about tonight's edition of WWE Raw, and what a night it was, live from Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
Yeah, this is where I'd say something in French, but I never bothered to use Google Translate, so... No!
Hey, I can't speak a word of any other language, so there you go.
Well, considering 4 hours ago, Raw was an ice hockey stadium.
I do have a beverage in hand to keep my throat from not being parched during this podcast, so makes sense.
Does it got ice in it?
It does not actually. It is a can of Diet Dr. Pepper that is filled with Kool-Aid.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I'm going really heavy values on soda tonight.
See that, Dr. Pepper? It's so good. He got rid of it and replaced it with Kool-Aid.
I drank it like a boss right before Raw started. I had like 15 minutes to eat my dinner before Raw started, and I was like wolfing it down. The next thing you know, I was like, I have a Dr. Pepper can. Let's fill this with Kool-Aid and let's do this podcast.
What's the worst that can happen?
Exactly. So, to anybody that is listening to us, welcome to yet another WWE Raw Popcast. Yes, I am not saying podcast. It's a popcast because we're on Pop here. And Ashley's joining myself to talk about what happened on Raw. So, we actually get to start out with, we don't have any bad news right now. Thankfully, there's no passings like last week. We can actually just roll right into this really good edition of Raw.
Yeah, they... I don't know whether it's because last week was so poor. We're basically going, oh, this is... but whoever the writers were, they realised that they had to do something to equate to the crazy Montreal crowd.
And I think they did quite well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree?
I concur.
Haven't heard that term in a long time. So, as always, before we get started, if you're interested in participating, we have a live chat room, which is empty right now, but it's okay, no worries. Things like this happen on the spur of the moment. And if you have any questions for Ashley or myself, you can tweet us using the hashtag WWE Popcast. So, I'm monitoring my Twitter feed to make sure, and I'm sure Ashley, if he sees something, it'll pop up on his...
in social media lounge of Pop.
Yes, with my lays on the door, and my chairs in the corner, and my lamp. Yeah, social media lounge. All right. Let's talk about...
Sami Zayn was trending tonight.
Yeah,
Ahead of
it was.
Beyonce. Ahead of Beyonce.
It's Sami Zayn.
And also, for some reason, thanks, Dave. Okay. David Letterman.
Yes. Who is one of the reasons that I started in broadcast journalism when I was in school. So, yes, I'm a huge Letterman fan, and he will definitely be missed on broadcast television for sure.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite movies is actually HBO's adaptation called The Late Shift, where John Michael Higgins plays David Letterman. The movie's phenomenal. If you want to check out the book or the movie, please do. It's a must-watch and a must-read. I believe the author is Bill Carter, if I remember correctly. I don't have that right in front of me, so...
But, yeah.
Ooh, I was right. Sweet.
We started off interesting.
Yeah. This was like an ECW-style segment because it went 30 minutes. Pretty much nonstop. But it wasn't just a promo. It was a promo that rolled into a match. Let's talk about this, shall we? A lot of rumors were stating that Randy Orton was going to open up the show. And that's exactly what does happen. Randy Orton does come out to open the show. He says Payback is a fitting name, In 2 weeks, that's exactly what he's going to be getting against Seth Rollins. He's walking out the champ, and there's not a damn thing that Rollins or Reigns can do about it. And cue Spider-Man. Or Aquaman in this case.
Oh, this is the reason why Joss Whedon left Twitter.
Yep.
I didn't, but whatever.
So Aquaman comes out. He says, if anybody's getting payback, it's me. Fans are chanting for Orton. They don't fight for you. And Orton's like, ooh. Like he's like, ooh, you burned me bad.
Sick burn.
Shout out to DJ Zema Ion. And of course, Roman uses the wonderful wording, if you come near me, you won't be standing. Okay. I don't mind breaking you in half and winning 1, 2, 3 for the championship.
Or, and it didn't work out well then.
No. What do you think about the wonderful wording of Roman Reigns?
It said a lot that the crowd were basically trying to fight him when he came through it.
I saw that. I thought it was rather interesting.
This is Montreal basically saying, nope.
We don't like Aquaman. We don't like Aquaman. Jason Momoa is not welcome in Montreal. So we get an interesting interruption, and it's from the New Day.
Mm-hmm.
And did you did you catch Randy Orton start bobbing his head when the music started?
Yeah.
I don't think that was supposed to be on camera.
Randy Orton breaking kayfabe. Send for the man!
That's a meme ready to happen. Randy Orton can bob his head to this. So Xavier Woods says the negativity has to stop. We're the only champions out here, stating the fact that the New Day are the only champions out, and of course, Orton and Roman don't have championships. So, the power of positivity. Hey, pop's everywhere, even if it's meaning something else.
Look how positivity did for Bo Dallas.
Yeah. For now. No Montreal boo-hoo job. It's a new day, and New Day rocks.
New Day does something. They wrestle a match.
We'll get to that later. And Biggie, one of my favorite lines of the night, Biggie says, not only does Seth Rollins have your number, he's got it on speed dial. So now it's time to clap with the New Day, and they make it a 3-on-2 handicap match against Orton and Reigns. Forced to team together because that's how it always happens.
Do the New Day realize they're being offensive because they want people to clap? What if people are amputees?
Yeah.
That's just insensitive.
Yeah. I'm telling you, sometimes they just don't pay attention.
Yeah.
So the New Day ends up doing a handicap match against Randy Orton and Roman Reigns. The match was pretty decent for what it was, but the crowd turned on it.
Well, yeah, because it's the New Day and Roman Reigns.
So,
and to some extent, Orton.
Well, basically, just like surprising absolutely no one, Roman Reigns ends up spearing Randy Orton accidentally, and Big E pulls Roman to the floor, Kofi steals the pin, and just like surprising no one, the New Day win. Are you shocked by this at all?
Accidentally?
They kind of pushed him into it.
If you wanted to make it look like an accident, don't just have Roman just legit spear Orton. It just looked like Aquaman was like, oh, you must be Batman. I'm helping Superman. Boom, bitch! It's just...
Go ahead.
Oh, it's just... I don't know. It's the... the way that Orton hit the RKO out of nowhere was good.
Yeah.
But the thing is, was it on Kofi?
Xavier Woods.
Yeah, the second one, it just... Roman was nowhere near spearing him. So I don't know whether that was Woods' fault or whether Roman made it look too obvious that, oh, look, I did this completely by accident. Oh, no.
Yeah, it's basically, okay, accidentally. Okay, let me put it a different way, actually. Accidentally is pretty much the fact that he pushed his back into spearing Randy Orton. So there was no accident at all, and Roman Reigns just like, forget it, I gotta spear somebody. So there you go.
People paid money to see me not wrestle, so I'll spear him.
Well, he is the master of the sea, so there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So this started a chain reaction for the rest of the evening, and the New Day literally celebrated all 3 hours long. But we'll talk about that.
Clearly an angle that was going to be really highlighting how good they are. Nope.
Ashley, what do you think of the New Day personally?
The gimmick sucks as soon as they didn't try and take it down an edgy route.
I don't think they could have.
Well, they could have been a heel group basically saying, you know, we're the guys who are the nearly guys.
Mm-hmm.
We never get the chances that we deserve.
Oh, what they were doing on house shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
Sort of playing the race card, but not doing it Nation of Domination style. Like the man's putting us down or whatever.
Yeah. But there's a way to...
is now Dolph Ziggler could join them, but...
Ooh. Crickets. So
he did it. He shot the sheriff and the deputy and the mayor's wife.
So after this match is over, Kane comes out and says, "Your night's not over yet. Guess what? You guys have to face off tonight." So, okay. So who does Kane meet in the back? Of course, Seth Rollins and J&J. So he makes another match, Seth Rollins against Dean Ambrose. A match that happened on SmackDown, proving why Sir Owen Disney does not watch SmackDown, because why should I? I'm seeing pretty much the same exact match, sometimes almost spot for spot, a couple days later.
Yep. Well, a week later, because it's Tuesday.
Well, okay, it airs on Thursday, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 4 days later. That
yeah,
means
but if you're a true WWE fan,
yeah.
You read from the spoilers from the tapings, and then you watch Raw.
Yeah, that's true. So Kane pretty much gets to bury Rollins. Pretty much Rollins buries himself by saying all these outlandish things. Is like, how would you like to wrestle with one arm tied behind your back? And I mean, I could do that. I could tie you to the post if I really wanted to. And he says, say one more word, and Kane just shuts him down. So we're getting Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose.
Live via Periscope.
Yeah. Obviously, we're in Canada, so it makes complete sense. Renee Young ends up being the in-ring interviewer.
Mm-hmm.
And she interviews Ryback, who has some... In my notes, it literally says, in parentheses, nice pants. Ryback's awesome workout pants are like the highlight of this segment.
That is nice, bold.
Nice pants. Not in that way, not that there's anything wrong with that, but he has some, like, sweet workout pants. So, he has no idea why Bray Wyatt is doing what he's doing. He says that very robotic, mind you, but then he actually shows a lot of personality. Ryback has very underrated personality on the mic.
The problem is, because he very rarely gets to do it,
mm-hmm.
He sounds crap.
Yeah, but he's got conviction, and he also has like true emotion in his voice. So you can definitely tell that even though the words aren't exactly there yet, he's trying.
It's like the Roman promos. When they started off, they sounded robotic.
Yeah, true.
But now that he's getting to do them more often, it sounds normal. One thing I would like to point out, WWE, their own, well, because earlier on in the night, Bray Wyatt was trending.
Yes, correct.
But the search on my Twitter app thing said, is WWE wasting Bray Wyatt in a feud against Ryback? Their own website is questioning why this is happening.
You don't do that.
Their own website is basically going, is this basically Bray Wyatt having to sweep up the shit? Wow. That's confidence.
Well, I will say right now that both need a boost right now.
Blimey.
So, Ryback shuts up the crowd, which made me laugh hysterically.
Well, it doesn't help that there's at least a dozen idiots that are still chanting Goldberg.
Well, he shut them up by saying, the big guy loves you too. If you ignore it, they'll just keep doing it. And those chants changed quickly to feed me more.
And then some idiot still kept doing it.
Yes, because it only takes one person to ruin it for everyone.
It only takes a minute girl to fall in love.
Yes. Sure. And Ryback's all about the positivity as well, so he needs to join the New Day because the positivity would be staggering if that actually happened. He says, you wanted my attention, you got it. You woke me up, and I'm starving. Talking time is done. It's feeding time. So we get Bray coming out of the fog. He says, you're a scared little boy, and it is fear that molds us all. Everything you love that you're afraid to lose is going to fade away. And in time, my friend, so will you. Run. I have no disagreement with that promo, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, we had 2 attacks on Raw and SmackDown last week, so this had to be a promo and not an attack. So I have a feeling they'll go that route next week, if they don't do it on SmackDown this week.
Something will happen.
I'd say so.
I just noticed they didn't even announce anything with that.
Bray Wyatt and Ryback?
Well, no, in terms of what's actually coming up on SmackDown this week.
Actually, I think I wrote something down somewhere. No, you're correct. They didn't.
There's,
Yeah, it's like, yeah, nope, sorry. We're going to do another Cena challenge, just for fun. But I would have no problems with that. So we get our tag team matches, and honestly, when it comes down to it, I really bashed the Ascension on the NXT video yesterday. And I bashed the Ascension because they're so much better in NXT and they fit better in NXT. Someone's paying attention to the videos because they came out and I know they still did like the Road Warriors ripoff stuff like that, even though it's ironic they're using the Hawk and Animal words. But they're wrestling more like the Ascension of old. And they had a solid match against Cesaro and Tyson Kidd.
Yeah.
I think I can honestly say by now that Cesaro and Kidd are officially baby faces.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in Canada, but still.
Thanks to the kiddie swings.
Yeah, we'll talk about the kiddie swing in a minute. So Cesaro breaks out from buckle to buckle with the Swiss uppercuts to Victor over and over and over again. He gets a near fall.
I'm surprised he kept count.
Yeah.
Oh, it went for 30 seconds. Literally, could you not go 1, 2, 3, 4? Or was it too similar to baseball?
Possibly. So Connor comes in for a clothesline, and Cesaro ducks it. Connor gets clotheslined over the top. Cesaro with a spine buster, and the kitty swings connects.
Yep.
And that's Ashley's wording, not mine.
Yeah, kiddie swings make perfect sense.
Yeah, sure.
It doesn't make any sense.
Where's the side drop kick out of the kiddie swings? That's the only thing I ask you.
It's the kiddie bit.
Ah, okay, I gotcha.
It's Kid that supplies the kick.
Yes. And given who Tyson Kidd is, it could either be Kid-y or Kitty. It fits both ways.
It's more Teddy, but you know.
Not now. So
Trust me. You clearly haven't seen Teddy's recent indie showings.
I have not seen Teddy Hart in a long time. You want to talk about the first main event for the evening, the first hour main event of Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins?
Oh my word.
Kane comes out at the beginning of the match and is like, you know what? You're going to dig yourself a little deeper every single time you open your mouth. So how about this? How about if Ambrose wins, he gets him put it in the Payback main event?
Dun dun dun.
So, gee, I wonder what happens. Right away, Ambrose hits the O'Connor roll and tries to steal a win. So we know that wasn't going to go anywhere, but it was still nice. So let's basically talk about what happens when they go to the floor. Courtesy of a kind of a modified Cactus Jack clothesline. So when it comes down to it, he's really bringing the Foley offense tonight.
Well, somebody had to because Luke Harper wasn't on the show.
And Wade Barrett wasn't, well, he didn't do it in the match, so.
Nope. Damn tag team matches.
Yeah. So he goes for the powerbomb into the barricade. And he connects. So he powerbombs him against the barricade after Seth ducks the rebound lariat. But Ambrose gets back in at 10. So Rollins starts snapping and starts stomping the daylights out of Ambrose, and he charges them with a forearm, and basically Ambrose no-sells it and charges them with a forearm of his own in the corner. This allows for Rollins to basically hit his ghetto blaster, and it leads to the jawbreaker lariat, because that's how it always happens. Dirty Deeds version 2 is set up, and of course J&J come in for the distraction, and Seth Rollins tries to steal it with an O'Connor roll, which he gets reversed into a roll-up and a stack pin, 1, 2, 3. Dean Ambrose is moving on to the main event of Payback.
And to be honest, that makes the main event more interesting to me.
Yes, it does.
Because it isn't the same three guys.
It's not the same three guys.
There's somebody that should have been in the hunt quite a while back.
And someone that's been rumored for a huge push, too, so take that any way you want. Rollins, of course, complains to Kane about this, and Kane's like, you know what? You're the one to blame for all of this. But this is about making you better to be the best champion that you possibly could be. Don't worry, I've got a plan. Well, that's worked before, hasn't it?
Yeah. The man with the plan always is perfection.
I really like this a lot. I like the fact of putting Dean Ambrose in the main event. It freshens up the match, and it creates a lot of interesting interpretation on who possibly could win. It's not a guarantee now. It probably is, but it's not a guarantee that Seth Rollins is walking out with that championship.
I'd still say it is.
I do too, but I mean, there's some doubt now.
To some extent.
A little bit of uncertainty, more so than before.
Make it interesting because they realise Dean Ambrose can't do anything because Daniel Bryan's injured.
Well, I think they may have somebody that could take over for Bryan if they book him correctly, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So Lana's in the back with Byron Saxton, and she immediately plays dumb when Saxton was talking about her getting cheered last week. And you have to know this is one of my favorite interactions of the evening, given who I am. Fandango arrives. He's on everything except other than roller skates at this point. At least the gimmick comes off like that. He seems like he's on a natural high at this point. He basically says, I think the wording is ecstasy is euphoric.
Something like that.
Of basically being over with the universe is pretty much what it is. And Rusev arrives, and of course that ceases, and we're telegraphing Lana's eventual face turn, which I know is going to happen sooner rather than later. Ashley, what is your opinion on the rumors that are going around right now that Lana may completely drop the Russian shtick and go back to being yet another blonde bombshell named CJ?
Considering the whole angle of she's doing a movie,
Mm-hmm.
it's sort of obvious.
Well, considering the fact that I think this proves that Vince McMahon just found Baywatch reruns the other day, that's the only thing that comes to mind. And we get a match between Rusev and Fandango. Oh my goodness. I was like, he's gonna die.
Yeah, murder isn't always a negative thing.
Hey now. So Rusev basically at this point is, I want to say this, but it's alive too, so I can't go back on it. Yeah, I'll say it. At this point, Rusev is Randy Savage to Lana's Elizabeth. And it's being treated exactly the same way.
Except I don't think they're actually going to marry.
I'm talking about the heel run, the Macho King run.
Oh, right.
Before, actually, right after that. When he was basically treating Elizabeth as, you stay back there and you don't get involved, you stand where you're supposed to stand, you know your role. That's what I'm talking about. And that's where I'm seeing that connection. So because Lana comes out by herself right after Rusev, waving in the crowd, and Rusev sees her and it stops her doing it, but she kind of smile walks her way down the ramp behind Rusev. I really like this because Fandango got tossed in the middle of the match, and he got Lana to Fandango with him. And then Rusev snaps, and he's like, what are you doing? And basically tries to send her to the back again. Fandango attacks from behind, and he posts Rusev twice. And I'm thinking, we're going to get a count out. He's going to win by count out, and then Rusev's going to snap on him. No, they get back in. So Fandango's actually on offense at this point. And he's going up for the 10 punch, starts pounding away. Rusev tosses him off. He hits the leaping side kick. And then, normally it's stomp, accolade, match over. He stomps his back 3 times before locking on the accolade. He's like, you tick me off, I'm going to stomp you into oblivion, and then I'm going to break your back and make you humble.
That might be somebody else. Okay.
Has anyone heard what Shiki thinks of Rusev?
Considering that he's representing Russia, considering his contempt for Nikolai Volkov at the minute,
That's a good point.
probably not positive.
Yeah.
She.
So, Wednesday, which is going to be tomorrow, because this is going up on Tuesday. I can say that now because it's officially midnight. Tomorrow on ESPN. What?
This is a video over 2 days. You're cheating.
Yeah, that's what happens when you.
Today's video. Boo.
That's when you start a podcast at 11:30 at night. That's exactly what happens every single week.
Damn it, Star Wars.
So, if you're watching ESPN, which I never do because I don't like sports, but if you're watching, I will be watching tomorrow at 8 o'clock p.m. on ESPN when E40 will premiere an NXT special. I've been hearing about this. E40. That's a rapper. Whoops.
E17.
Bingo.
W1A.
Okay, this proves that Owen doesn't watch sports.
Audi S6.
E60. There you go. Thank you,
Yes.
Ashley. Does that mean it's going to be an hour long, and that's why it's called E60?
Yeah, and by that we mean 48 minutes because there'll be commercials.
Yes.
E48.
Bingo.
Oh,
So.
you can call it E45, like the beauty cream.
Oh, wow. So technically, E40 is closer to that than E60. So I was technically right.
Inadvertently. Damn it, you're right.
The officially named E60 will be airing tomorrow night on ESPN at 8 p.m. and I definitely will be tuning in because I'm really curious to see how this is going to look. I know I've seen some of the the special trailer they had for it. It was really awesome. Triple H had everybody in a in a college auditorium, like a class auditorium. And I thought that was really cool. And having been to Full Sail University myself, I'm really curious to see how this actually looks in presentation. So, you're going to be watching?
I'll probably I might not be able to catch it live, but I'll probably be catching it eventually.
Yeah, I'd definitely say it's something we need to be watching at some point. Like, I still need to watch King of the Ring. I haven't got a chance to check that out yet. Okay.
I thought King of the Ring.
So let's talk about that's a segue, folks. That's exactly what that was. Rolls right into our next match, which is R-Truth against Stardust, a rematch of the first round King of the Ring match. Stardust brings out a bag, a sack with stars on it, and this is awesome where this went, honestly. So Truth finally gets on top in the match. He hits his clothesline, his leg lariat, the hat rack crack connects, gets a 2 off of that. He grabs the bag. Stardust grabs him, he gets a back elbow. Truth rips out the bag, the contents of the bag, and what's in it? A arcade prize redemption bag of fake spiders.
Yeah.
He screams. He gets rolled up, O'Connor roll yet again. I guess we're having a sale on O'Connor rolls this week. And Stardust gets the win. This is awesome. I really like the utilization of this, using the fake spiders in order to get the win on Truth.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on this match?
This was just your filler. This technically was your piss break. That's what
Yeah.
it was.
Not when you have to write notes on the show. You know what I'm talking about. What's this bathroom break match you speak of? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh yeah, when Raw goes to commercial break. That's the only time I can do anything. Get more Kool-Aid to fill my Diet Dr. Pepper can and chat with the other inhabitants of the house at the time. That's pretty much what I do during commercial breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's hour number 2, and the main event for hour number 2, of course, as always, is the John Cena Open Challenge for the United States Championship. Cena comes out to one of the loudest John Cena sucks chants I've heard in a long time. And they won't quit. Yep. Cena says the words, "I quit," and everybody goes crazy. And apparently some of the fans were in the know because it seems like Corey Graves, during the pre-show, pretty much let the cat out of the bag who Cena's opponent was going to be without saying it.
To some extent, yeah.
Yeah. So the fans start chanting Olay, and I was thinking, well, he's backstage. Charlotte was backstage, so I'm going to guess that she's going to make her debut tomorrow night on SmackDown, if I had to guess. Unless she's just there for fun and good times. Not like that. But I don't want Ric Flair to come track me down. But yeah, I almost Charlotte to come track me down, to be honest. So John Cena's he says his line, "You want some, come get some. I'm the GFG. You don't like me, bite me." And seriously, someone like Cena started watching Rick Steiner matches on a loop and it just got engulfed in his head, and he just can't get it out. So he has to use it, but he can't call himself the DFG. So makes sense to me.
Yeah.
All right. Who's Cena's opponent? Bret the Hitman Hart's music hits, and by Bret the Hitman
Hart is wrestling once again.
Well, here's the problem. It's not Bret Hart's music hits. It's the Hart Dynasty music that hits, because Bret the Hitman Hart's real music hasn't been used in a long time. I believe they lost the rights to that music. It starts out the same, but it's not the same song at all. I mean, it's the same song, but it's not the same version that he used to use in the early 90s.
Yeah.
It's the Hart Dynasty music, really.
Yeah.
So, but that's how it works, I guess. So he comes out, and I'm thinking to myself, he's going to be the one to bring him out. I was like, okay, that makes sense for people that don't know who he is. But then I start hearing the crowds chanting Olay, and then they literally were chanting his name. So they're pretty much giving it away. And who comes out to interrupt? Heath Slater. Well, he says he won't let his moment get stepped on again. He refers to Canada itself as Les Incompetents. So that's right, I can speak French.
Oh my word.
He's like, well, first I got RKO'd. Then I got attacked by Rusev. I'm sick and tired of all of this, and Bret Hart just pops him in the head with a microphone.
Almighty smacked as well.
Yeah. Well, Bret no-sold it and popped him in the head with the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
So Bret Hart makes it official, and it makes perfect sense to me that someone from Alberta is announcing someone from Quebec. I didn't know they got along. I don't think they do, actually. Continuity be damned. Vince like, they're both Canadian, make them both go out.
Stanley Cup all of a sudden becomes the Calgary Flames versus
Canadians?
Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah.
It's going to be awkward.
Oh, God. So, yes, we pretty much danced around it a bit, but everyone that watched Raw knows the awesome news that John Cena's open challenge was accepted by, yes, Sami Zayn.
Probably the biggest crowd Zayn's ever wrestled in front of.
I'd say so. Maybe so. Anything he did in Japan or anything he did over in other countries, could they have had bigger crowds?
I don't know how many people would have gone to WWE's event in Dubai.
I'm sure they had a nice attendance. I could look it up if I wasn't lazy and we weren't live.
If he has wrestled on Raw shows before, it would have only been in dark matches.
He did a match on Raw. Remember the tag match with Tyler Breeze?
Yeah, but that was as an NXT showcase.
Yeah, correct. But it was still a match on Raw.
So this could be somewhat as well, but this is obviously a singles competition.
Yes.
Singles competition is like you have to do half the effort. Tag team, it's like a quarter. Unless you tag somebody like Roman Reigns, in which it's 60%.
60% water. And you just got that, didn't you?
So it was just wow.
All right, yeah, that's gonna catch on. Roman Reigns
2/3 chance, and then you add the 25%, and you get 123.2.
If you are listening to this podcast, if you're going to a live WWE event that's on television, I want to see a Roman Reigns as Aquaman sign, please.
Just know, hashtag 60% water.
Brilliance. Absolute brilliance.
We're looking at you next week.
Oh, my God. It's Cincinnati. It's Dean Ambrose country.
Q-Titty Master Signs galore there.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be, honestly. Okay. Well, first off, this match starts off hot, but immediately it gets, I can't say shortened, but there's something that happens midway through the match that kind of lessens what the match could have possibly been otherwise. Now, granted, it was a phenomenal match regardless, but I think that there could have been more to it if something didn't happen.
That was clearly just a stalling technique.
Yeah.
He wasn't injured.
No, it definitely wasn't.
He would have done wouldn't have happened.
Well, here's the thing, and I said this on Twitter, and I mean this. They're having issues with Daniel Bryan right now. A lot of people are wondering if we're never going to see Daniel Bryan to the level that he once was because of all the injuries he's had throughout his career, and they're all finally starting to catch up to him. If WWE is searching for a white meat babyface that the fans can get behind, that works underneath oh so well, and can take a beating and get so much sympathy from the crowd, Sami Zayn is it, without a doubt.
No. You've got somebody already on the main roster that does that. His name's Adrian.
Nah, they're not going with Neville. Neville will go a different direction. This is Sami Zayn's role.
Yeah, but I think they want to try and make 2015 the NXT year of Steve Generico. I think that's as close as they're trying to do it. They're literally trying to recreate that feud that they had between 2009 2010 in Ring of Honor.
I can see that.
They
but I'm talking
make it go for a whole year, and then probably Sami Zayn makes a full-time debut, possibly by the Royal Rumble. They may pull the trigger beforehand, but I think Sami Zayn deserves longer than a month-long title run.
I think Sami Zayn, once he gets brought up to the main roster full-time, and no, this is definitely not it, without a doubt. He still has some unfinished business with Kevin Owens, and I truly believe that leads to an Iron Man match between the two.
Oh, wow, I didn't think about that.
I almost guarantee it happens because they had the colossal battles with Sami Zayn and Cesaro, and the matches with Kevin Owens, I'm pretty sure they can definitely equal out to those. I want to see an Iron Man match between those two in NXT, without a doubt.
30 minutes, 60 minutes?
Give me 2 hours, I don't care. 60 minutes. I say 60 minutes. Make it an NXT special. Zayn Owens, I know this is playing up what actually happened, but Zayn Owens' final battle, 60-minute Iron Man match.
Oh no, because the one that happened at Final Battle was that had chair shots to the head.
I know. I know. But I'm saying the final battle between them is going to be that Iron Man match. I see. There's no doubt in my mind they won't go that route. But
I think it's also refreshing as well that people are crapping on Cena.
Oh my God, it's getting worse.
Ever since Fastlane, but more after Mania with the challenges, he's actually having great matches week in, week out.
Oh yeah, totally.
Program with the same person all the time. I feel sorry for the house shows because it's blatantly just Cena versus Rusev all the time.
Yeah, I know.
And that ain't going to happen with Raw because the whole idea is they're trying to give as many people the opportunity as they want to. I mean, realistically, Ambrose can't. They aren't going to do back-to-back hometown things.
Yeah.
They can't really have Ambrose go for the belt, especially because, of course, he was the first as well.
I would have done that finish tomorrow night, next week. Not tomorrow night. I would have done that finish next week with Ambrose being the one that stands tall in his hometown.
Mm-hmm.
They could have saved that a week.
But It was interesting that at least on Twitter, Triple H put Zayn over as well massively.
Oh yeah, he's one of the NXT group without a doubt.
And say, oh, he got buried because he lost. No, not many people kick out of the AA.
No lie.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
They clearly did that move on purpose. And then, the Blue Thunder Bomb happened.
Yeah, it did. And it looks brilliant, too.
And, you had Cena doing his heel turn.
Yeah, he did.
And it's just... it's refreshing to see, because obviously Zayn got to do quite a few of his crazy spots as well, like the Tope Suicida, and then the dive over the mat through the turnbuckle.
The torpedo DDT.
Yeah.
And then the flatliner into the Koji clutch, and Michael Cole actually called it that.
Mhm.
It was a great match. It really was, and it really showcased Sami Zayn and what he is definitely capable of putting on every single night.
It's some people are saying, "Oh, why isn't he on the main roster already?" And
it's not time yet.
He doesn't need to be.
NXT, it's just like I've said before.
To the other NXT champions. For ages, Seth Rollins was nothing.
No.
In the Shield until they decided to pull the trigger, and now look at where he is. Then the other two, the Big E.
Yep.
And Bo Dallas.
Correct.
Their impact on the industry has been they're somehow still working.
Yeah.
I think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are a different attitude.
Completely agreed.
Honestly, I think as well, Seth Rollins is a Triple H guy.
Yeah.
Big E and Bo Dallas are Vince guys.
And obviously Kevin Owens is a Triple H guy too.
Yeah.
And so is Sami Zayn.
Triple H realizes they only should come up when they're ready, not like when they're sick of and when they're done with them on NXT.
Yeah, that's pretty much the reason that people like Adam Rose and Emma didn't really work very well, and they're back in NXT now, and it's pretty much what's been going on with the Ascension too. Pretty much don't really have anything to do with them. They just kind of put them out there whenever. They don't really have the same impact that they had in NXT.
Although, come to think of it, are they just not bothered about the Lucha Dragons?
That's interesting. Yeah, they seem to pull the rug right from under them.
If you're going to get anybody to host the Cinco de Mayo special on the WWE Network on Tuesday, you should choose Lucha Dragons ahead of two Puerto Ricans and a Mexican midget.
I think it's Torito is the reason why they're getting that spot.
Yeah, but, Epico and Primo, a bit of an issue there.
Drop the masks, please. Be Primo and Epico again. I don't know what to do with Torito, but I mean...
I think they're just waiting for the third Zorro film. Just like Zorro.
You can't... you really have to do something with Torito. Obviously, the fans like him. They're into him. But it's not necessarily to be the quote-unquote mascot for the Los Matadores. They need to do something with him.
That's what he did for years in AAA.
I know.
That's the best bit. That's the best video on YouTube. Little Caminito getting kicked off the ramp and basically, landing head first into the bloody barricade.
I wouldn't mind Hornswoggle coming and bringing some minis in.
The co-commentator is laughing his bloody ass off about it. I don't know what they're saying because it's in Spanish Mexican or whatever.
Spanish Mexican.
He's like, he's laughing his ass off.
Well, what about if they really wanted to do something with this? If they really wanted to be insistent on doing something with El Torito, since they have him on the roster, and he's such a great worker anyway. Why don't they have?
What's happened
Well,
to Los Matadors?
why don't they
wait,
have?
they're doing a WWE Network special and nothing.
Oh God. Well, look at Hornswoggle. He came back and he was doing the stuff with 3-man band, and then he went bye-bye too.
Yeah, but that's because Leprechauns were shit.
Yeah, if the movie would have done well, he might have stuck around. I would think that it'd be nice if Hornswoggle would be able to bring some minis into the company to work with Torito and himself. But WWE don't care about the women's division, so why should they care about...
No need, just watch Lucha Underground.
Well, yeah, I have both of those Lucha Underground. What's your point?
What's that instead? You'll have midgets on there from time to time.
So, yeah, the match was awesome. And after kicking out of the AA, which, of course, made everybody like, oh my god! So, yeah, the heel turn does connect, and AA finishes off Sami Zayn. After the match is over, Cena helps Zayn up, and he bombs out so Zayn can drink in the cheers of his hometown crowd.
I mean, he's wrestled in Montreal before.
Yeah, of course.
But only for the dark match.
Mm-hmm.
Not actually on television in a relatively prime spot, because obviously it was... the match started at the top of the hour, I think, didn't it?
Yeah. It was the main event of the second hour leading into the third, yeah. Like Cena's challenges usually are.
It was the highlight of the night.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I will say right now that it's weird because Zayn's been doing the house show circuits too, and for some reason over the weekend he worked Eric Rowan. I find that very strange.
The ginger beard. Da, 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 da.
The Battle of the Beards.
Battle of Ginger.
Yeah, the Battle of the Ginger Beards. Not ginger beer, ginger beards.
Black beard, only ginger.
All right. So, Sammy's still celebrating in the ring. We see the New Day are still celebrating in the back. And the Bellas walk by and watch them celebrate, and that's pretty much the end of that. The New Day are still, like, really excited for their victory, and Xavier and Kofi drop the Victorious in the style of Notorious B.I.G. Cesaro and Kid and Natalya show up, and Kid, Cesaro, and Natty basically get everybody to chant New Day Sucks. And everybody starts chanting that because that's what they do now. So yes, fully knowing that Cesaro and Kid are babyfaces now.
Well, it's not that they're baby faces. It's Cesaro.
Yeah, well, it's Kid in Canada too.
It's a wrestling crowd.
Yeah, it is.
Not a WWE Universe crowd.
That's proof of the main event.
It's the guys that know their indies.
Well, look what they gave us. I mean, the opening match was something that you took people that they're not really that big into, and you put them against the New Day, and the match really did work. And then you give us John Cena and Sami Zayn, which blows the roof off the place. You give us Rollins and Ambrose, which blows the roof off the place. And then you give us a tag match, which leads us into the main, which wasn't going to succeed anyway, except for the fact that the fans just wanted to cheer for Randy Orton, which didn't even get to the ring until 10:56, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the rest of this Raw, shall we? There's a couple things that we still haven't gone over, and that's the return of Tamina Snuka. She is now the bodyguard of Naomi.
Problem. The one major problem with this week's show. But, you know, AJ leaves, give Divas a chance, piss off.
Yeah.
That's what I should now say.
Oh boy. And she basically says this is what family's all about because by marriage, Tamina is Jimmy Uso's cousin, so of course they are technically family, so yay.
You know, your gimmick before you got injured was a bodyguard, and you come back as
And
a
you're
bodyguard.
hard.
Woman that's literally replacing AJ Lee if you believe the stories of what was supposed to happen afterwards.
Yeah, pretty much.
He was supposed to turn heel and have a feud against the Bellas.
I like Naomi, but
I'd also like to note, and some people may like this, some people may not.
okay.
Some people may get pissed off by this. Possibly you, Owen.
Okay, go ahead.
When did Karma get re-signed by the WWE?
Ooh.
Sorry, you've got dreadlocks. You've got the same bloody ring attire.
Mm.
You've given me, a Dollar Tree version of Karma. The thing is, Kong can wrestle.
Yeah.
Naomi's all right, but if you had them two in a match, wow, we need Arja Kong to just shake her head and go, no. I would have preferred anything on Naomi other than Karma ripoff.
Yeah, I can see that.
You there? It gets worse and worse. No wonder Paige is filming a movie. She's better off there than being on this bloody roster. Otherwise, she'd just turn heel. Have heel versus heel divas, and nobody will give a crap about it. And then Alundra Blaze will put the belt back in the trash.
Well, the butterfly belt needed to go a long time ago, so I can understand that.
Wrestling altogether gets thrown in the trash.
NXT still knows what they're doing with their women's division. WWE just needs to pick it up a little bit.
Independent wrestling is so good.
I know.
Because you have competitive matches with Courtney Rush, with Lufisto, with Jessica Havoc, with Jillian and Melissa, with Nicole Matthews, with Portia Perez. All these great talents. All this time, Sara Del Rey is crying in NXT going, what are they doing to the main roster?
She's getting brought up eventually, is what Triple H was pretty much alluding to.
Yeah, and if she does, she might make that roster bearable.
Yeah.
Then again, that's when I fear for what happens to NXT when she leaves.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. It's a catch-22 because if she goes to the main roster, it's going to be awesome for the main roster, and it's something that they desperately need right now. But if she goes to the main roster, the next generation of NXT women are going to definitely be a little bit more lost than this generation is.
If she goes to the main roster and trains Eva Marie,
yeah,
on top of what Kendrick's doing,
Eva Marie's going to be
somebody there that from nothing suddenly has the best opportunity of any diva in the past 10 years.
I think Eva Marie is going to be a cornerstone of the Divas division once everything is complete with her.
Yeah. The girl that started off, in essence, very similar to Trish.
That's exactly what she is.
Becomes a nice piece of ass. I had to make it rhyme, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, NXT's trying to do the Trish Stratus route with Dana Brooke right now, so I don't know if that's going to work or not.
Might be a lost cause.
The match this week with Bayley actually wasn't as bad as last time. Oh, God, that match was terrible. I'm very happy she's still using the Jugulator's finisher. So yeah, that's basically what we've got from this. So Wade Barrett comes out looking like Prince John. And I like Wade Barrett as king. I think this actually has a lot of good value to it if they run with it.
Yeah, it's similar to his old gimmick, though.
He's kind of doing what Regal did when he won the King of the Ring.
It's a weird variant of the original gimmick.
Yeah.
He had like the Don Giovanni coat when he was under
NXT with Jericho.
yeah.
That's when I started getting into Wade Barrett.
Yeah.
I've been a Barrett supporter since day one.
Yeah. But still with the whole Sheamus thing, it's like, you know, I get that you wanted to change your look and everything,
Yeah.
but did you basically look like you are auditioning for the Mad Max sequel?
He does look like somebody from Mad Max. I agree with that. So we get our tag match that I basically thought was going to happen before with Zack Ryder, but then I'm thinking, oh, that's right. Oh, and they don't push Zack Ryder. So Neville Man takes his place. Yeah, this match was good. Once again, Michael Cole, after successfully calling moves correctly early on in the night, once again mistakes the Tilt-A-Whirl backbreaker for the Irish Curse.
Oh, it's an easy mistake to make.
No, it's not. I'm not even going to sell that.
Like a idiot, it's an easy mistake to make.
He, of course, drops his Russell Crowe line from Gladiator that you love so much.
Oh, my name is Maximus Decimus Meridius.
Well, Sheamus ends up getting super kicked. And we go to the finish here. Neville's on top, hits a standing shooting star, gets a 2 off of that. The whip in is reversed. He tips up, and he gets punt kicked by Barrett. He sets up for the bullhammer, gets stuck, Enziguri kick. The deadlift German from Neville connects. And meanwhile, Sheamus gets speared to the floor by Dolph, so it takes him out of that. Dolph and Sheamus are fighting on the outside. Sheamus slams Dolph into Justin Roberts' land, which, for the uninitiated, is the Timekeeper's table. That's what I used to call Justin Roberts' land, so that's what I'm calling it. So Neville heads up for presumably the Red Arrow, but decides he wants to springboard instead. He springboards, and he walks right into the bullhammer, and Barrett takes the win right there. After Neville hit the sliding dropkick to Sheamus to take him out of contention. So a lot of things going on in that finish of the match, and a pretty good way to end the night if you just stopped watching there.
Yeah.
And I know some people probably did.
More likely.
The people in the building will probably be like, well, you know, we can get a chance to get ahead of the traffic if we leave now. But it's Roman Reigns and Randy Orton. I'm leaving with you. So we get our main event. It is Roman Reigns and Randy Orton, which doesn't go to the ring until about 11 o'clock, by the way. Kane comes out with Rollins and J&J, and Jamie Noble gets on the announce table, and he makes himself the special guest ring announcer. And he calls Joey Mercury not the special guest timekeeper. Didn't he say the special guest bell ringer?
I don't know.
Okay, Kane's the ringside enforcer, and Rollins is special guest, not referee, which would have made more sense, but commentator. So yeah, this match is, it's a match.
The key thing I'd like to point out here, clearly, you're not supposed to. It's one of these selective memory things that WWE drops from time to time.
Oh, of course.
Remember what happened a couple of weeks back?
Okay.
Handing in his 2-week notice.
I do remember this, and you brought this up last week, actually.
2 weeks is up, so, why is he still there?
Someone's going to hear this and going to be like, oh my god, we totally forgot about that. Next week on Raw, we're firing him.
If he's on SmackDown, it's really going to be a case of, why are you here, Kane?
I honestly think they're not paying attention, Ashley.
Well, they've got to. If you want to keep the entertainment. If you want to keep people entertained and enthralled, you got to stay with the storyline.
Tell them that, please. I implore you.
It's not like, the NFL draft, the guy that was drafted number 1 randomly gets put back in the pool and gets drafted by somebody at like number 89. That's how it works.
I'm more curious about Global Force Wrestling and their new roster.
Well, that'll get announced on Wednesday.
Yes, that's another thing we're going to be getting information on Wednesday.
And when the first name is everybody from TNA Wrestling because they bought them out, I'll just go, yeah.
Oh, that would suck.
Well done, Dixie. You finally saw the light and realized, wait, the guy that ran the company into the ground 10 years ago might know what he's doing now better than me.
Okay, here's the thing. It's a shame because you know how the company should be run, and it's great we're talking about this on a WWE podcast, but still, when it comes down to it, you know how the company's supposed to be run, and maybe it's not been run properly. I agree with that completely. But TNA has been putting on some great television lately, and if it gets snuffed out in its prime, I would really be saddened by that.
It's brilliant, I had to catch you up on all the WWE stuff at WrestleMania. You're going to have to catch me up on all this TNA stuff on Friday when we do the reactions after Impact goes off the air.
Yeah.
It goes back on the air because then they show it on loop about 7 times because it's either it's either Impact Wrestling on Destination America or Alaska.
I'm not gonna lie. When it comes down to it, I have not watched Impact Live in a long time. Basically, because I usually on Friday nights we're filming the movie reviews and the verses, so we don't have time to watch it. And I usually watch it on the weekend, like I'm gonna be doing tomorrow, actually.
Mhm.
So it's gonna be weird to do it live again. I've not done it live in a long time.
Then again, it hasn't been live since November, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
I think the last live episode was like not even then because they did tapings.
So if you want to go live for Impact this week, we can. If not, we can do a supplemental podcast afterwards if you really want to do that.
Well, it'll be at 11 Eastern, so at least it'll be earlier than now.
That's true.
Still
yeah,
be
we
like outside though, like it is. Yeah.
Yeah, for those of you listening right now, yeah, we're going to be doing TNA on Friday night, so should be fun.
Only for live shows. So
yes.
Expect it to happen once every 4 years at the rate that they're going.
Yeah, that also means that because we're actually going to be filming AJ's movie reviews on Thursday night because we're watching Hot Pursuit early, so we don't have anything else coming out. So I think we'll be fine if I don't say so 1,000 times. We'll be able to do Impact on Friday night.
Ripping off Need for Speed titles once again.
So yeah, this match was a match. Typical main event you'd see on like a SmackDown house show. Honestly, I think it's probably the same thing you've seen on that SmackDown house show, or those quickie 10-minute matches that you get after a show has ended, like dark matches.
Well, technically, of course, that was the dark match because
yeah,
I think at the minute we got Pat Patterson Appreciation Night.
That's correct. That also makes a good reason why Bret's there right now.
Probably already finished by now, but
yeah,
we're having it now because last time Jerry Lawler having a heart attack sort of complicated the issue.
We were actually at the Raw where he came back to commentary, and he actually got a really loud reaction from the crowd, deservingly so.
Indeed.
He's still working indie shows, though.
Yep.
So let's talk about. There's really nothing about this finish that's anything out of the blue. Roman comes off the ropes. Kane pulls him out to the floor. J&J attack Orton, and everything is thrown out. Roman leaps over the top rope on everybody. I called upon.
The bell doesn't ring.
Yeah.
The bell doesn't ring because they stole the hammer.
Yeah, you can't.
Still going on.
Well, Joey Mercury couldn't ring the bell himself because he's the special guest timekeeper, so that match is still going on, yes, correct.
It's like Curtis Axel in the Rumble. He's still in it.
Yes. So they basically mugged Randy Orton, and Ambrose runs out for the save. All 4 men are left in the ring, and then we get finishers galore. Roman spears Rollins, and then the RKO to Roman, and then the Dirty Deeds version 2 to Orton, and Dean Ambrose is the one who stands tall to end this edition of Monday Night Raw.
Well, he had to, because he was the only guy that was mega over with the fans.
Yeah. Randy Orton got a great reaction from the crowd, though.
To some extent.
Well, now it's
got a better reaction.
Oh, yeah, he did. And now it's going to be... Yes, because he's Dean Ambrose, exactly. Now, at Payback, we're not going to see a three-way that a lot of people would not really care much about. We're going to see a four-way with the Shield versus Randy Orton. Every man for themselves.
In theory.
Oh, it's in theory, yes, but it's every man for themselves, obviously.
Yeah.
If they want to take the title off Rollins, which I don't think they do, this is a way to do it without him having to eat a pinfall. And as much as I hate to say it, this is a way to pin someone in the match that is not one of the people that's in the top storyline right now.
This is the way to have Roman Reigns win Money in the Bank next month.
I hope not. I hope they don't waste Money in the Bank on Roman Reigns.
It's going to happen. We're probably going to have Rollins versus Lesnar.
At SummerSlam?
SummerSlam.
That makes sense.
At WrestleMania, Roman catches it midway through the match.
Oh, God.
And pins Rollins.
I hope not. I really do. I don't...
Brock Lesnar beats up Michael Cole, and this time he stays off commentary for a bit longer.
That'd be better. But,
on commentary instead of Byron.
Can we get Renee Young on commentary?
If there is a god, yes.
We need Renee Young on commentary. Like, we needed that yesterday. Literally yesterday we needed that. I really don't want them to waste Money in the Bank on Roman Reigns. I understand where you're coming from, that makes sense for them to do that. But I think if they give Money in the Bank to Reigns, I think it's a waste. I understand why, but I think it's a waste. The only other option... Okay, if you give Roman Reigns Money in the Bank, you have Ambrose win the Royal Rumble, and then you do the three-way with the Shield at WrestleMania 32.
Mm-hmm.
That's what everybody's been talking about. You might as well do it. I don't want either of those things to happen, but that's just me wanting to see Wade Barrett get his just due.
Yeah.
I know it's not going to happen, but it'd be nice.
Yeah. Get your hopes up.
Nah, trust me, I don't have my hopes up. This edition of Raw was a lot better than last week, without a doubt. I enjoyed the matches on this show. It felt a lot more like a Raw that I enjoyed watching back in the day before I pretty much tuned out for 3 months. And everything had meaning. There were a couple matches to pretty much cool us down a little bit. They didn't really have as much meaning, but they were there to cool us down from the highs that we got from matches like Rollins and Ambrose and Cena and Sami Zayn. And to a lesser extent, Sheamus and Barrett against Dolph and Neville, man. So everything else was kind of just there. Like you said, this Tamina and Naomi thing, I don't know.
Karma. It's not Naomi anymore, it's Karma.
Oh, God, we got to think of another name for her.
No, we'll call her Karma until they actually bother to realise their mistake. We'll keep calling her Karma.
Yeah, because the real Karma is taking names in TNA right now, and I'm really enjoying what she's doing, the work she's going to be doing with the Dollhouse starting out very soon, and I'm sure you probably have no idea what I'm talking about.
Oh, no, I know about the Dollhouse.
I actually like the storyline a lot, actually.
No, I don't.
I like it for different reasons.
Considering the two women that are part of it are bloody good wrestlers, and they're being treated like a bloody sideshow.
I think it makes sense because Taryn needs lackeys, but the problem is you look at Marty Bell and Mia Yim, and they are not lackeys whatsoever. But
she's already got a lackey. It's called her ex-husband.
Yeah. Ouch. But it
Well, that's
gave
what
me.
he said after she beat the crap out of him.
Well, but I will say that TNA did give me Laura Dennis on television, and that made me a very happy guy. So I'm a big Cherry Bomb supporter, so I was happy to see her on television. And we got Crazy Mary Dobson on NXT last week too, so
Hmm.
that was cool. I like that. Yeah, the show, Montreal crowd, really into it. Some of the times they were really letting WWE know they did not care for what was in the ring, i.e. the main event. And we got a couple CM Punk chants, but not very many. We got some Goldberg chants. Ryback just shut that up immediately. This was a decent edition of Raw, Ashley. Would you agree?
Yeah.
I mean, there were some great moments on it, but yeah, this was a good show. I mean, it's not a great show, but it was a good show.
There were some great moments and karma.
Yes. Because technically she's not with the company anymore. Like I said, she works for TNA, so we can still call her Karma. They still own the copyright, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you can download the DLC. Probably.
Yes. So yeah, that was Raw this week. So looks like we're going to be doing a live Impact Wrestling podcast after the live Impact that's going to be airing on Friday night on Destination America at 9 p.m. from my home away from home, Soundstage 20, Universal Studios Orlando. So that's going to be coming up your way. Wrestling fans, stick with me because I'm going to be talking about last week's Impact actually coming up tomorrow. Brand new Sip and Snack on Thursday. We'll be focusing finally on root beer. I finally got that worked out. Friday, AJ's movie reviews will bring you yet another edition. We're going to talk Hot Pursuit and some limited releases. And Saturday, Ashley, what's on the tap for Gaming with Ash this week?
It's a smorgasbord.
Indeed.
We've got a whole lot of stuff. We've got the whole... Everything from last week I was going to talk about, so the Mortal Kombat stuff.
Mm.
The Silent Hill's been cancelled stuff. The Skyrim mod stuff. I probably was going to make the video. Warner Brothers decided to announce they're doing a $40 season pass,
Yes.
which isn't inclusive apparently in all the special editions.
I know someone who's already pre-ordered it, so I know what you're talking about.
I have no issue with the base, a collector's edition having extra stuff, but normally the special edition includes the season pass.
Normally it does.
And looking at the details of this time, no.
That's just crazy, though.
Mm-hmm.
But more, Ashley, if you'd like to check him out on the SNS Radio Network, you're going to be bringing up the whole indie show this week as well.
Yes, talking some Evolve Wrestling.
Okay.
And as it turns out this weekend, CZW return of Nick F. Gage.
You know it. Didn't he work? He worked Masters of Pain tournament over the weekend, didn't he?
I think so.
Yeah.
The key thing is this time he's facing Gulak.
Ooh.
Which may explain why Gulak was getting shirty at me for putting two and two together from a video that disappeared from 4 months ago.
So that video never saw the light of day?
No, it did. It just doesn't exist anymore.
Ah,
But,
okay.
it's like with Kane. I have a memory. I remember stuff.
We're not supposed to remember these things, Ashley. It's out of sight, out of mind.
I think they didn't want to do it, but they didn't want to do it at first because they put it up in February when technically he was still in prison. So it was like, well, it's a bit awkward.
Yeah. That was back when I used to watch CZW religiously. So yeah, I know all about Nick Gage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was like a guilty pleasure. I knew Nick Gage was never the greatest wrestler, but it's funny because in my old timey backyarding days, I basically ripped him off hardcore. So
Yep.
yeah, I even wore the bandana across my face, came out to Voodoo for a bit and everything. So there was that. Just picture Nick Gage as a Juggalo, and you've got what my gimmick was. But that's another story for another day.
Yeah.
So, once again, I have to talk off camera with you on this. You haven't seen Impact for a while, have you?
No, but I know of some of the things happening.
So you obviously didn't watch last week's episode.
No, I know the dollhouse stuff and why it's degrading to Marty Bell and Mia Yim. I know that there's some sort of like presidential vote off between
Yeah.
Tyson and EC3. And Kurt Angle's probably having a title match.
Yeah, he's definitely feuding with Eric Young right now, and the matches are really good.
Young is number one in the rankings.
Yes, correct.
We're bringing the ranking system back.
Yes.
So crappily before. Don't get your hopes up, kids.
More WCW. Eric Young's been watching a lot of old Greg the Hammer Valentine footage because he's got this knee brace on the back of his leg, so he's got like basically the Hammer Jammer, like the feud with Valentine and Ron Garvin.
Yeah.
So he's been using that a lot lately, and I like what they're doing with this. It's going to lead eventually to Ethan Carter III rightfully becoming TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
Somewhere down the line.
It's definitely going to happen. If it doesn't happen, it's a missed opportunity. But I don't think TNA is going to miss that opportunity because right now there's unfinished business with Angle and EC3, so they have that to lean on, plus the fact that he's over with everybody, whether you like him or hate him, and he's the top commodity in TNA without a doubt. WWE really missed the ball on him.
The best thing would be if...
Same with Galloway.
The best thing would be if either Galloway, Anderson, or Hardy got injured on the tapings coming up. Or on the AAA show that's happening at the end of the month that they're going to be a part of.
Yeah, I know that they're being a...
TV continuity is going to be really cool, isn't it?
Yeah, because obviously with Jeff's dirt bike accident, which I talked about last week on the Impact video, when it comes down to it, the plan was...
division is cursed.
Yeah, the plan was the Wolves and the Hardys, and that would be Slammiversary, but now, not sure. See, I had a way to do this, but it's not a way that's really believable, but I think it actually could work. I know right now he's basically a road agent for the company, but why don't you have Matt Hardy team with Shane Helms and defend the titles?
Or you basically just have Jeff in a motorized wheelchair. Use it as an offensive weapon.
I could have said Shannon Moore, but I think Shane Helms works better.
Ironside.
Oh, God. On that note... So that was another edition of the WWE Raw Popcast as we end talking about TNA. Ashley and myself will be talking Impact this Friday night, so that video will be up. I think we'll start at 11 p.m.
Well, that's supposedly when it finishes.
And we may wait till 11:30 again to make sure we get everything in order.
Is it half hours or quarter hours we can go?
Half hour.
Okay, well... We could set it for 11, and then if we're late, just hang tight, people.
Okay, that works. We'll set it for 11, and if we're not right away, then you can join us when we go live. It won't be too long after Impact.
There's a huge host of 2 people, probably.
That's what we've got now, but thank you to those that are watching live right now. We totally appreciate it. And to those that are watching on archive, thank you as well. As always...
Enemies, tell Pope Francis.
Yeah, tell friends if you're liking what you're hearing about these Raw Popcasts. Ashley and myself talking WWE and soon to be NXT and Impact.
Hashtag Naomi is karma.
Hashtag WWE Popcast. Hashtag Impact Popcast. And hashtag NXT Popcast. So that's what we've got to look forward to for this week on Pop. And Ashley, as always, thank you for joining us.
Us. You mean there's more than one person there?
Oh
no.
Oh my God. Laura Barnes is here. Okay.
Oh no, they're breaking the 6th, 7th, and 8th wall. Screw the 4th.
Oh God. So yeah, thank you for joining me tonight and joining the ones that were listening. There's the us. There you go.
No worries. Yeah, we got to thank them for joining us. That's the thing.
You can check out Ashley on Twitter if you'd like at AshesMyNameUK, or if you'd like to follow him on Facebook, you're more than welcome to do so. It is under Ashley Richardson. If you want to friend request me on Facebook, it's Owen Disney, and follow me on Twitter at Sir Owen Disney. And if you like what you're hearing, like our Facebook fan page. It's under Sir Owen Disney Pop, or search for Sir Owen Disney and Pop. And I can tell you some interesting information as of this moment. We are very close to 90,000 views on the channel right now.
Uh-oh.
Yes, I think that's pretty awesome.
Went through AJ's movie reviews.
Well, that's the truth, without a doubt.
Exactly.
Hey, the Horror Nights videos are what my bread and butter are. I mean, when it comes to, if we lost the reviews, yeah, we'd be seriously screwed. But I mean, I don't think that's going to happen, so I'm not worried about it. So, that being said, Ashley, I'm sure you need to get to bed or to start your day, depending on how you're looking at things.
Or neither.
Okay, fair enough. So,
I'll stop my day. I will just, take a load of paracetamol and not go to sleep, but just pass out.
well, okay, we'll go with that then. I hope it's legal. So,
That sounded so happy-go-lucky. I was like, I'm worried now.
so that's going to end the podcast for tonight. So, as always, thank you guys and girls out there for watching. And until Friday night, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.